Welcome back into the workshop, and we have a little bit of a puzzle, which I'm going to talk about after a couple of minutes of me delving off onto. The Dave's Diary entry for today is registrating the base plate here, or the pad, whatever you want to call it, to the top. Because I used it this afternoon to do a wee bit of a job, and inadvertently I had nudged the plate across a little bit, and it was misregistering my cuts. So can't have that. So I'll need to, when I first made this pad, I had actually clamped it at the back to keep it registered or located properly. But forgetting that, I proceeded to use it today, thinking it would sit there on its own. It didn't. And then as I was using it and just butting up the wee bits of timber, it was nudging it across ever so slightly, unobserved by me, for a couple of cuts. Anyway, that's important. What I was surprised about was that the dust extraction extracted the quite damp, clingy dust and chip. That, because some of it is still quite wet, some of the timber I was cutting still quite wet from treatment, etc. So, and it extracted it really, really well. So, thinking that I was a clever little lad, I was just making the video before, and I've deleted it because I had to go investigate it a bit, and I pulled the hose from there, and there was a big wad of dust, chip in the tube, and it actually backed up a little ways, and I'm going, well, how the heck could that actually happen? The air is going, is being directed along, but I'm wondering, because it is a 90, and I can't see why this should be true, but because it's straight into the airflow, that there is no airflow from this point here for the dust to, be pulled along. And maybe there's a wee bit of the old, Bertolli, whatever, effect, where you put it this way, if there's turbulence there, can it throw some of the turbulence, throw the dust backwards against the flow of the air? I know, and I've kind of said that this in other videos, that this is, I'm quite happy with. It's quite a good, the material is just dropping straight in. It didn't seem to block up here, only here. Wouldn't you think that any excess flow from this, if there were any, that it would extract that dust? So it didn't. So this is not helping there. It wasn't blocked. The pipe work wasn't blocked. It was just, there was a build-up just at this point because of this, and this pipe is not blocked. I did, however, use this. This is why it's a wee bit of a, don't fix something unless you know what caused the problem. But I did use the hose to suck up some of the material. Long story short, it built up there, giving me great concern. See, I'd prefer to keep the 90-degree ports, not because of any particular, put it this way, I prefer to keep it 90 degrees. I've got no resistance to putting in a 45 because I've got them, but yeah, that's quite odd, I've got to say, why it built up back, because I haven't done any collection through that port at all, not yet. But if there's no air being able to run past it, it's not being able to drag the sawdust. Is that a thing? I don't know. Must be, but why wasn't this one blocked up? This would have been the major collection, at this point, and it was clearing it out. I might have to take that pipe out tomorrow and double check that there's not crap trapped in the hose because it's got a big, loopy bit going on there. Maybe I have to swap them out for the 45s, like I've got over here, which is also in the wrong direction. But when I put that one in, it's just loosely fitted. But when I put that in, I did that. We had the extractions a little bit different. So there was that. But this same thing, I'm wondering whether I can. Maybe it's just a thing. I don't know. I don't know enough about it to make any qualified comment, really. It's just that I was a bit puzzled, or a bit surprised, rather, that I had that. So I might swap that round. The reason I had it like that was because it was easy to put a pickup, pointing out into the room, which I was contemplating. But that'll change anyway. To be perfectly fair, if when I get the new extractor, it will that whole length will be quite different orientation because it will go through the wall and then the long and etc. So that won't be there. Yeah, that has really caught me by surprise. Again, I'll repeat the logic that I'm applying to it. Yes, I know it's 90 degree, but that's not. It's not that you can't use a 90. It's just that if you use 90, you don't get blockages the same. Well, there's a blockage there. Okay, so maybe I need to put the 45 degree in. Okay, no problem. But is it that because it was 90 and no air going through that part of the pipe because it's, effectively blocked off, that it trapped the sawdust? But it just doesn't settle well because if you saw it, it wasn't sticky, it wasn't wet or claggy. It was just sitting there. Dang, that's not saying much. Maybe all the air was going through here, and that's why that area didn't block, and there's insufficient air going into that one. I wonder whether they need to be swapped. Have the majority of the air going through on this port, and that one over here, if it's got lesser capacity or capability, maybe it's not blocked, is it? No, it's not blocked. No, there's nothing in it. No, yeah, but that might be an idea. Although I would like to do another trial. Maybe I need to suck up some loose dust or something and see whether it just sits there, swap them over, and then carry on from there. But I kind of like that. It's just an idea, swapping them over. I can turn them back. I can put them into 45s. Turn the ports into 45s. Like the junction rather than the 90. But yeah, very disappointing. Oh well, there you go. Tomorrow I've got this is the wee job I'm doing here. The one that caught me by surprise with the registration of the pad moving along a little bit. Whole lot of pieces at 400 millimeters long. Yay, very easy. Any stop would achieve that. I had made mention that I like the idea of having the capability of having dedicated stops so that I can pluck them off the pad, put them somewhere for storage, and then put them back into place. Now, it's not for 400, not a round figure type of situation I was talking about. It's for a specific measurement. Say you had one at 319. Well, it's pretty close to the 320, but it's just, so if you set up a particular stop, buried here under all this other stuff, like that, and it had the measurement built in, when you've dialed it in, of that particular measurement, then you can pop it up, put it for storage, and then put it back in place when you want, if you want, that exact same measurement for a cut. Yes, you could just dial it in. It is easy enough to do. But if you don't have to adjust things, well, it's got to be easier. And hey, they're basically for free. You can pop them over and store them, You don't have to have them pinned in place, because after all, every time you use a pin like that, it can't be used for something else. But anyway, register the plate to your table so you don't have the problem that I did. Luckily, it just moved the plate back a couple of mils before I did notice it. I was able to relocate the plate properly and recut them, so there was no drama there. Because some of the timber, this is for a friend, I'm trying to keep it as well priced as possible. I have found a little bit of timber that had been stored outside for quite a while, so it's a bit used like. So what I'm going to do is, once I've assembled them, and that's why I've dragged the sander out, put a new belt on the sander. Oh, hey, what's the quality of that belt anyway at the moment? Just pulled it out and didn't have a look. It's not too bad, but I'll try and get a very coarse pad for there, so that it does actually leave a gouged or rough finish. I'm not looking to make it a smooth finish. I actually want as rough as possible. And I think I had a 36 grit or 40 grit pad on there originally. So it almost had like rocks sticking out of it. Now, you don't want to get your fingers near that one. How do I know that? Well, I just took the side of my finger just a little bit. It wasn't down to anything nasty, but it was like, whoa, that was close. Let's wear gloves. Oh no, don't wear gloves. Not on rotating machinery. If the glove gets caught, your finger is going in with it, and it's going to munch it, or cause some severe discomfort. And you've got to be careful about what tools you use gloves with. If you're feeding in timber into a saw, like the bench saw or something, you'll wear gloves, because after all, you won't get your fingers anywhere near the saw, will you? Because you'll have the guards on. But any rotating things like this or that, I suggest don't wear gloves. Just saying. If you're health and safety person you've been trained to wear gloves, fine, you do that. But you've got to be majorly careful about what apparel, including gloves, you use. I always use good leather gloves, pretty much exclusively. But don't like that idea of getting caught by a machine. Anyway, that's it. I'm heading inside to have a cuppa and hit the sack. That dust is a wee bit of a query. Do like the idea of swapping them around. It does seem to make a little bit of sense. To be fair, when the new machine comes, that will dictate more than anything. But, strange. Has got me puzzled, that one. Caught me by surprise. After me crowing and saying, oh, you only need the 90 degree here, you don't need the 45. Maybe I'm wrong. I know the logic behind it, but like over there's two 45s to create a 90. There's a 45 there, but that was out of convenience. Because that's not a high flow situation, not like it would be with the planer thicknesser, because it's not a high flow. I honestly couldn't see. I'm going to cough. Hang on. It's not the dust, but because it's just the croaky voice now. Because it's just the miter saw, I didn't think the demand or the build-up would be there. It would be whisked away straight away. Swap it over. Maybe that's the answer. The high flow of the 100mm will aid and prevent what I was just talking. I'd like to actually try and cause the problem again, out of curiosity, and see whether what was causing it, and then what cures it. Now here's the thing. I'm trying to shoot my own theory down. when no. When I actually pulled that hole, that fitting out, and that's when I saw the build up. It didn't whisk the air away, so it's obvious the chip away. So obviously it's like almost like the air was going in. Now I know it sounds stupid, so excuse me, but it's almost like the air was going in at that point freely and smoothly, and wasn't able to extract that chip because it was no air going over it. But that's not satisfactory. We know what air's like. Anyway, yeah. In other words, I don't know. So I'll have to have a wee bit of an experiment, because I can't have that happening too often. Or this is one of the, actually, to be perfectly fair, that's why I ran the pipe all the way through, so that I can pop the end cap off, which I did just before too, so that if there is ever a block, I can actually run a rod down there or something to clear it up. Interestingly, and this flies in the face of what I just said before, when I opened that port up there and this riser one here, it didn't clear the chip, the build up. Even more of a puzzlement that is. Yeah. Anyway, let's hope that the bigger, more powerful unit will take care of that. Interesting. In not a good way. Rightio, that's it. I'm off. Have that cuppa and hit the sack. Rightio, see you later now. Bye.